We don't necessarily feel that's quite enough, but this is where we're at.
Some workers out of a job after Portland Public Schools announces its latest funding cuts, why some say the furloughs are unfair. And a fast food worker pepper sprayed after a customer says their food was taking too long. The charges they could be facing this afternoon. Plus, Iran saying they won't be participating in the World Cup. Now questions emerge as the team was set to play in Seattle this summer. And as war continues in the Middle East, millions of barrels of oil released in an attempt to bring relief at the pump. Happening right now, thousands of faculty and staff at Portland Community College are hitting the picket lines. This comes after 9 months of bargaining with the college. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Stephanie Domerat. Celine Stevens joins us now at the picket line. Celine, what's it like out there right now?
Stephanie, well, like we keep mentioning, this is a historic strike, and right here near the PCC Sylvania campus along Southwest Capitol Highway, we're seeing around 90 or so people out here. Around 30 minutes ago, we were at the PCC Cascade campus, and that definitely had over 100 people at the picket line. So this is getting a pretty good turnout, and you can just see, again, a large amount of people are out here right now, despite the stormy weather on the picket line. And so those who have been here have told me they've been bargaining with the college since early last year. But after the college's latest offer of a 0.35% increase, union members have hit the picket lines. They say it doesn't keep up with the cost of living and inflation, but PCC says state funding for community colleges hasn't kept pace with the true cost of delivering high-quality instruction. And they say they're also dealing with a biennium budget deficit of almost $38 million. Now, according to PCC, the college is operating remotely through the end of the strike, and they do expect mediations to resume on Monday. Now, I hope to hear from PCC or later today, and I'll be sure to bring you those updates as we get it. But again, just a lot of people out here despite all the rain and the wind, and it looks like they're going to be out here for the next couple hours until around 1:30. So for right now, I'm going to toss it back to you.
All right, Celine Stevens reporting for us there. Thank you so much. Well, right now, an atmospheric river is ramping up across the region. Heavy snow has been falling all day up on the mountains. You can see a lot of snow there up at Timberline. Meantime, down in the valley, rain and gusty winds are expected to pick up this afternoon, possibly impacting the evening commute. Our weather team has issued a weather impact alert for tomorrow and Friday. Chris joining us now. Give us all the details, Chris.
Yeah, for the cumulative impacts of the rain and more rain in the forecast, our much advertised 3-day soaking is underway with snow up in the Cascades and a round of rain working on through northwest Oregon and southwest Washington. At last check, some of these yellows and oranges that are showing up out in the Coast Range indicative of rainfall rates better than 1/4 of an inch an hour. The rain has not been terribly heavy in the valley and the metro areas just yet, but we do anticipate that intensity to slowly ramp up as we head towards the evening commute and later. So far, and this is just since midnight, Jewel in the North Oregon Coast Range has picked up more than an inch of rain. Tillamook knocking on the door of an inch. At PDX, more than 1/4 of an inch. But again, the rainfall rates are likely to pick up as we go into the afternoon and evening. And of course, as we mentioned, the weather impact alert days Thursday and Friday for the cumulative impact of all the water on the roadways that we'll see over the next couple of days. PDX Vancouver rainfall tallies may be somewhere on the order of 2.5 to 4 inches if things work out just right. The coast will obviously see more. And one of the other facets to this is the snow threat that is ongoing up in the Cascades. We've talked about that, but also the wind threat. We do have a high wind warning in effect for the East Gorge and Columbia Basin kicking in later this afternoon with gusty west winds expected later today. Meantime, south wind gusts have been impressive at the coast, gusting to nearly 70 on the Clatsop Spit. That's on the North Oregon coast. Salem gusting to 43. Even at PDX within the last 2 hours, we've seen wind gusts to 29 miles an hour. And you can see the flag there at the top of the Umpqua Bank building snapping out of the south right now as that breeze ratchets up. South sustained at 16 at PDX. Right now, temperature at 49, and will probably hold in the low 50s for the rest of the day. Stephanie, rain ratchets up for the evening commute, and we've got a real soaker for tonight and early tomorrow. We'll walk you through all that and when we dry out in my 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, lot to cover there, Chris. Thank you. We'll see you then. New at noon, Iran's sports minister says the team will not be playing in the World Cup in the U.S. The team was scheduled to play a match in Seattle at Lumen Field in June. According to the AP, the minister said on state television that because the U.S. assassinated their leader, quote, under no circumstances can they participate. This is the first time an official from the Iranian government has talked about the World Cup since the U.S. launched attacks last week. Now, earlier this week, President Trump told FIFA's president that Iran would still be welcome to play in the tournament. It is unclear what this would mean for that match in Seattle. Meantime, dozens of countries are agreeing to release over 400 million barrels of oil to help ease prices at the pump. Since the war in Iran began, U.S. crude oil prices have shot up more than 25%. The Strait of Hormuz has been blocked off since the fighting started, stopping about 20% of the world's oil from passing through. And here locally, we're seeing the impact. Oregon's average price for a gallon of regular gas is up $4.28. And Washington has the second highest prices in the country at $4.72 a gallon. According to the Pentagon, roughly 140 U.S. service members have now been wounded since the start of the U.S. strikes on Iran. Many Democrats are now calling for public hearings about the goals and scope of the war. NBC's Alice Barr has more from Washington, D.C.
The toll of war with Iran coming into clearer focus as the Pentagon says about 140 American service members have been wounded, more than 100 already back on duty, but 8 remain severely injured. 7 have been killed. The administration under pressure to lay out a clear exit strategy.
President Trump will determine when Iran is in a place of unconditional surrender, when they no longer pose a credible and direct threat.
He gets to control the throttle. He's the one deciding.
The U.S. military zeroing in on Iran's Navy, posting this video and saying it eliminated 16 Iranian vessels used to lay mines near the critical Strait of Hormuz that's been choked off through the fighting, blocking about 20% of the world's oil from passing through and sending oil and gas prices shooting up. As Iran escalates its threats to not let 1 liter of oil out of the region until the attacks stop, President Trump promising to hit harder than ever, while also saying the fighting will end soon.
We've already won in many ways, but we haven't won enough.
Which is it? Is the war ending soon, or are we on the brink of the worst fighting yet?
And now, podcaster Joe Rogan, one of the president's most influential backers, publicly questioning his justification for war.
He ran on no more wars and these stupid, senseless wars, and then we have one that we can't even really clearly define why we did it.
The administration adamant it's achieving the goals of wiping out Iran's missile capabilities and Navy, as the Pentagon says it struck more than 5,000 targets. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Overnight, we're learning Portland Public Schools now plans to make cuts in phases due to a multi-million-dollar budget gap. The district will also implement furlough days and eliminate 13 licensed administrator roles. This is in part because of a $22 million budget gap just for this school year. That's in addition to a $50 million gap for next school year. Superintendent Kimberly Armstrong says a driving factor for this budget gap is declining enrollment and rising operational costs. The teachers union says they will be doing their own analysis of the budget. Other union members are questioning the impact of these furlough days.
The absence of that would mean more cuts for next year, deeper cuts, and getting into the classroom and some of those non-student facing roles. And we want to do everything we can to prevent that.
With SEIU, we're some of the lowest paid workers in the district. The superintendent says that she's taking 6 days. Senior leadership is taking 5. We don't necessarily feel that's quite enough, but this is where we're at.
As for the 13 positions already cut, those employees' last day will be June 30th. Meanwhile, new video shows the person Portland Fire and Rescue believes is responsible for the fire at the iconic Elephant's Deli in Northwest Portland. Crews tell us it is unclear if this person intentionally set that fire, though they are investigating it as an arson. Fire officials tell us the fire first started on the outside of the building before spreading inside. For decades, Elephant's Deli has been a staple in Northwest Portland. It's been in its current location for more than 2 decades. It's unclear how much it will cost to rebuild at this point. Investigators are urging anyone with information to contact fire officials.